Hello, everybody. It is Orlando Bailey, Engagement Director for Bridge Detroit, and I am here with Madison and Chloe Travis here to talk, and they're sisters, and they're here to talk about what their life has been like since the COVID-19 pandemic has hit the United States, more specifically the metropolitan Detroit area. So, Madison, I'm going to ask you to just state your first and last name and your age for in the school that you attend for the record. You're
My name is
muted.
Madison.
Okay.
My name is Madison Travis. I am 16 years old. I am a 11th grader at Cass Technical High School.
Awesome. Chloe, your name, age, and school for the record.
Okay, I'm Chloe Travis. I go to Cranbrook Kingswood Middle School for Girls, and I'm 11 years old.
Awesome. Hey, Chloe, I want to ask you about the COVID-19 pandemic and where you were when you first heard about it, and that it was in Detroit, and that you may have to come home for the rest of the school year and finish out school. Like, how did you hear about it? What happened? Tell me about your experience.
Okay, so at my school, we were about to go on to spring break for like a month, and then they told us if it gets really bad, then we're gonna stay home and do online school for like a couple weeks. And then they told us like at the end of March, and we just did it for the rest of the year.
Wow. So how was the transition from in school to virtual for you? Did you like it? Did you struggle?
It was really weird because it was just like everybody was online, and we had to look on like different websites, and everything wasn't in person. You had to print more stuff, look at your emails all the time. And it was kind of stressful at first, but I got used to it.
Okay, you got used to it. Madison, you go to one of Detroit's premier high schools, Cass Technical High School.
Yes.
Tell me what happened when the pandemic hit in the city and you were in school.
Okay, so that night I remember that there was talk of the coronavirus, but during that time, it wasn't really anything where we would think that we'll be at home and that wearing masks would be something that would just be regulated and just be the norm. But that night I had heard that the school was closed for the rest of the week. So we were like, oh, maybe we're going to go back in 2 weeks, or maybe we're going to go back that following Monday. But we transitioned to online, and it was very confusing because teachers hadn't been trained in learning how to work the
Teachers
online
needed to figure
platform.
out how to work it, right? Yeah.
Yes. And just the transition of moving from in school to online, it wasn't hard for me because I feel as if I can work online or in school, but just trying to learn while the teachers are at home and they don't have like access to like all the materials they had at school, because many of the assignments that I had turned in were still at school, so we had to start everything fresh. It was just really stressful, and some people were having like a really hard time adjusting because it's like, who wants to sit in front of a screen for 8 hours a day? It was really hard, and it still is hard.
It still is hard. How are you managing that stress, and how did you manage that stress? Because I can imagine I can't imagine abruptly having to leave in-person instruction and going completely virtual and still be expected to be, I'm sure both of you are stellar students, the stellar students that you were. How did you guys manage that stress?
Well, for me personally, I picked up the hobby of baking because at first I was really stressed out about school. I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to excel as much as I did in person, but of course I did. And just baking would allow me to channel all of my stress from school and just like take my mind off of it for a while, but while still doing something that's good for the people around me and for the people that I serve, which is most of the community of Detroit.
I want to come back to the baking point that you made, but I want to allow Chloe an opportunity to answer around how you manage that stress of not being able to attend school face to face and having to go virtually.
Well, at first, before like it was like I got used to it, I was like, if I stay in this house another day, I'm going to literally break down and scream. And then I got used to it because my teachers made it easy for us and like made it as if it was like a comfortable environment, and I got used to it like that.
Okay, cool. So, Madison, did you feel the same way? Were you ready to scream like, I need to get out of this house? I'm sick of seeing the same people all day, every day.
Yes, I did feel like that in the beginning, but as the months went along, like especially in April, my parents wouldn't really let me get out the house. So it's just like I was cooped up in the house all day. I was doing work, and it was just like the next day I would wake up and do work again. So it was just like a repeated cycle of homework, classwork, logging on to Microsoft Teams. It was just like a consistent routine that you eventually will become tired of. But after a while, I began to realize like it's going to be like this for a while. So I might as well get used to it. So I buckled down and dealt with what was happening right
You're managing stress better than some of us adults. You're
now.
managing reality better than a lot of us. Chloe, tell me what you did over the summer since you couldn't really leave the house.
Well, over the summer, I painted a mural in my room, and I got a whole new
You
room.
have to send us photos of it.
Yes, but I'm not quite done yet. I have to do a couple more details, but I'm almost done. And also,
So you're an artist? Wait,
I love
I
doing
didn't
art.
know this. You're an artist?
Yes.
So describe the mural for us. Yeah, tell us about the mural.
Okay, it's like line art. It's like white line art on like a purple wall, and it's supposed to have like some African features, like a woman. It also has like different colors in it.
Chloe, you have to send us this. We have to publish the mural with this article. Oh my gosh. And so, Madison, you've been baking away all summer. Tell me about this business that you started and this Instagram page that you started, because I hear like, you're pretty good. I don't know. You didn't send me any cookies.
Okay, so I started the business off of boredom while being at home. I never thought that I would have ended up becoming a baker, and I actually really enjoy baking cookies. It all started with me making one cookie, which was the peanut butter chocolate chip cookie, and like people in my house would just try it. So I'm like, oh, I hope they're good, and they tried them. And they said that I should start selling them. So family, friends, and friends of family would just start ordering like crazy. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to come out with new flavors. So that's when I came out with my Oreo cheesecake cookie that everyone loves.
Have an
And
Oreo cheesecake cookie?
yes, yes.
They're amazing.
Chloe, are they amazing?
Yes, and also there also just be like some days where she would have like I don't know, like 18 orders at once. And we would all have to work together, scooping out cookies, putting them in the oven. She'd be making more dough. It was very stressful, but hey, we had to get that moolah. So,
Oh, look at you.
yeah.
So you were helping your sister out. Did you make her
Yeah.
pay you for your labor?
Yes.
She was a very big help, her and my mom, because oftentimes I would get like she said, 18 orders a day, and I wouldn't pass it up because I'm like, well, this is what my business is about, just helping people out and just making people happy with my baked goods. So I would just get those orders out, and I would like deliver them myself because I drive. So it would be a lot in one day. So I might be in the kitchen for maybe like 7 hours making dough and just popping them in the oven, taking them out, packaging them. Just everything that I make is made with love because it takes me a lot of work to actually spend that much time in the kitchen and bring them to people.
So what's the name of your baking business?
Cookie Crumbs by Maddie.
Cookie Crumbs by Maddie. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
I
guys,
also make
be
her
on the
menu.
lookout. Cookie Crumbs by Maddie. What were you saying, Chloe?
I also made her menu. So,
Oh, you designed it?
yes.
Oh, wow. So you two are just, the dynamic duo, sister duo. It's great. So you guys get along all the time and you don't fight and you help each other out and support each other. That's so great, right?
Yes, sometimes we have our moments, but in the end, it's always love.
Tell me about some of the lessons that you've been learning in virtual school. Do you feel like you're retaining what is being taught to you virtually? Because you all are back in school now, right? And you both have opted to go virtual, right?
Yes.
So are you retaining any of it? Do you feel like you're behind? Do you feel like you're up to snuff in your academic work?
Yes, I feel that I am retaining the information that I'm being taught, as many of my teachers, they're coming up with creative ways for us to be able to actually feel as if we're in the classroom. And since I take so many advanced courses, it's mandatory that I am able to retain it, and I am doing a good job of that. I've been managing my time, and I understand all the material that I'm basically learning in my class.
Yeah. And Chloe, you go to Cranbrook. That's a pretty prestigious school. Like, we know about Cranbrook in the city of Detroit. Tell us about your experience there and whether or not you're retaining what's being taught as well.
Okay, so right now, so there was a decision on whether you could go virtual or go inside. And I went in for like the first day to go inside, and it's like really safe, but we're not sure yet because they say like kids can just come in with coronavirus and nobody would know. We had to take a test in the beginning of the year, but they're not like testing you like every week. So it's just very complicated, but I'm retaining the information because right now we're just like reviewing stuff from last year, and it's just like, it comes back to me. So yeah.
So were you all able to have input on your decision to either go face-to-face or virtual, or did mom and dad just say, this is what you're doing, I don't care what you feel like, this is how it's gonna go?
For me, it was more of we all basically had the same decision, so it wasn't really any type of debate about it. I really didn't feel that safe with going in because of how many kids I go to school with, and it didn't really make sense for me to go in because at my school they're doing a thing of where you're just in the classroom but you're still virtual, so they will supply you laptops, so it's like you can just do that from home.
And you said, Chloe, that you went in for a couple of days.
I only went for like one day, and it was like orientation on like what 7th grade would be like. And the online school experience, I'm not liking it a lot. It's not very good. Well, it's like, it's only like 4 kids in the whole grade out of like all like 56 girls that are online. And it's just like, you're the only person online. You can't really hear the teacher because they're talking to everybody else. And it's kind of hard to see. And like, they have to do PowerPoints on Google, on Microsoft Teams. And it's just really complicated, but I've gotten used to it. But hopefully it gets better and they know more about it. So
yeah. Do you miss your friends? Have you guys had the opportunity to see and hang out with your friends, maybe a social distance, iced coffee or ice cream at Cold Stone or something? Like, have you been able to hang out at all?
Yes, we have. Most of the times what I would do is like bring my lawn chair to like one of my friends' house and like sit on like the sidewalk, and they would probably sit on their porch, and we would just go there and like have fun. Even though I couldn't really be that close to them, it still made me feel better than before when I couldn't even go visit them at all. So yes, I spent time with my friends through social distancing.
What about you, Chloe?
Me and my friends, we don't really see each other, but we do FaceTime and watch movies at the same time. So it does help.
I do that with my friends. So do you ladies know anybody who had been affected or infected with coronavirus? Do you know someone who may have passed? Like, has coronavirus touched your lives personally since March?
Yes. One of my parents' really close friends passed away from coronavirus.
Wow.
So yes, it has touched someone who we're close to.
Were you also close to that person?
Yeah, I knew his daughter, and it was like really sad. I wanted to go we sent her like a little like smile. It was like this weird, I forgot what it was called, but it was like something, it's like these little stones, and you just say like smile on them. So like it would just give him a smile because like he was like my parents' age and he passed away, which is really sad.
Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that, Chloe and Madison. How did you get through that? That had to be pretty sad. And I know you guys were probably sad. How did you work through that? And did you help your parents get through the emotion that they were feeling after losing a friend, a close one at that?
Well, we just had to accept that he was in a better place now, and if he was in pain, it would probably be better for him to be up there.
Yeah. So, ladies, you two have your heads on pretty straight. I'm sure you're stellar students. And I want to give you both an opportunity to give some advice So, Chloe, what would you say to a 7th grader that's struggling, that's ready to get out of the house? And Madison, what would you say to an 11th grader that is thinking about applying for college and homecoming and are not going to be able to do all of the regular things? What advice would you give to your peers? Chloe, we'll start with you.
I would say to my fellow 7th graders just to relax, everything will be fine. And if you're online, don't think that if you go inside, you'll be safe, because it's all about your safety and about your health. Because, you know, if you get sick, people are dying at like 6 years old from coronavirus, and it's really sad. So this is all about your safety, and you can still do good in school on virtually.
Thank you for that. Madison?
For any 11th graders, I know that it's hard with all the high school events like homecoming and if you have any spring dances and stuff like that. But the reason why we're in the house is to stay safe. Just to reiterate what Chloe said. And around this time, you should be practicing SAT and excelling in all of your classes, because in a minute, we're going to be applying for college. College apps open on August 1st. So it's coming around really quick.
Oh, you know when it's opening. Do you have an idea of where you want to go to college?
Yes, Howard University.
Oh, wow. What about you, Chloe? You thought about college yet?
I want to go to art school. I want to go to Juilliard and New York.
Juilliard. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm so impressed with the two of you. Thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to me. Madison, I need a cookie. I need that Oreo, what was it? The Oreo chocolate chip?
Oreo cheesecake.
Oreo cheesecake cookie. I'm gonna put it in my order. What's the Instagram page for?
Cookie Crumbs by Maddie, Madi.
Okay, Cookie Crumbs by Maddie to put in your order today. Madison and Chloe, thank you so much for talking with me.
Thank you for interviewing us.